Marsau has been arrested by the FBI, and the internet is in absolute shock. For years, he appeared to be living the dream, a rising public figure, a man surrounded by success, and someone whose every move was followed by millions. But in a single moment, everything changed. What made the story even more dramatic was not just the arrest itself, but what happened after. Leticia, his close companion, went live on social media in tears, pleading for his release, her cries echoing through millions of screens worldwide. That livestream became one of the most talked about broadcasts of the year, and the aftermath has left everyone asking the same questions. What exactly happened? Why did the FBI step in? And what does this mean for Marsau's future? Today, we're breaking down the entire story, piece by piece, exploring the arrest, the emotional aftermath, and the ripple effects that are still shaking fans, friends, and followers everywhere. This is a story filled with twists, hidden details, and emotional depth, one that goes far beyond the headlines. To understand why this story became such a phenomenon, we need to start with the arrest itself. According to early reports, federal agents moved in swiftly and decisively, catching Marsau and those close to him completely off guard. For the public, the news seemed sudden. One moment he was active online, engaging with fans, posting content, and living life as usual, and the next he was taken into custody under the authority of the FBI. But arrests at this level are never truly sudden. Federal authorities don't simply act on impulse. Instead, they build their cases slowly, carefully, and methodically. Sources close to the situation suggest that Marsau had been under surveillance for months, perhaps even longer. Every financial transaction, every communication, every piece of evidence that could tie into a broader investigation may have been under review. What looked to the outside world like a shocking overnight development was, in reality, the culmination of months of groundwork by investigators who had been preparing for the right moment to move in. The suddenness of the arrest shook the internet. Social media erupted with questions and speculation. Why was Marsau arrested? What could have been serious enough to involve the FBI? And why now? Fans, who had grown accustomed to seeing Marsau's life play out publicly, suddenly found themselves in the dark, scrambling to connect the dots with little information to work with. That vacuum of facts only made the shockwaves stronger, fueling speculation and rumors across every platform imaginable. What we know about FBI arrests is that they are usually tied to serious allegations, ones that cross state lines, involve financial misconduct, or connect to larger criminal activities. Unlike local police, federal investigators have the resources, the manpower, and the jurisdiction to pursue complex cases. And when they act, it's rarely on a whim. Insider reports suggest that law enforcement had been monitoring Marsau for a long time. Some point to potential financial discrepancies, while others whisper about legal irregularities that had attracted attention long before the arrest became public. Friends of Marsau described a man under pressure, someone caught between the demands of maintaining a perfect online image and dealing with struggles behind the scenes that most people never saw. What makes this particularly chilling is the realization that the public narrative and the private reality were so different. On the surface, Marsau seemed fine. He posted, he interacted with fans, he gave the impression of stability. Yet behind the scenes, every move may have been under a microscope. By the time federal agents arrived, the case against him may have already been fully formed. The operation was described as carefully coordinated, designed to minimize risks and ensure that everything unfolded under tight control. The fact that it happened so seamlessly suggests months of planning, surveillance, and legal preparation. In short, while the arrest may have shocked the internet, it was no surprise to those who had been investigating him. When news broke, social media exploded. Hashtags began trending within minutes, with fans, critics, and curious onlookers all rushing to voice their reactions. Some were heartbroken, unable to reconcile the Marsau they knew with the allegations implied by an FBI arrest. Others speculated wildly, suggesting theories ranging from financial crimes to elaborate conspiracies. The sheer speed of online discourse turned the story into a viral phenomenon almost instantly. The nature of social media meant that every detail, or rumor, was amplified. Screenshots of supposed insider messages circulated. Clips of Marsau's past content were reanalyzed for clues. Even the smallest gestures or phrases were dissected as fans tried to piece together the truth. This frenzy of attention not only kept the story alive, but also heightened the sense of drama. Suddenly, this wasn't just a legal event, it was an entire internet-wide spectacle with millions of participants. Amid all this chaos, one moment stood out more than anything else: Leticia's live stream. Hours after the arrest, she went live on social media, and what unfolded was nothing short of heartbreaking. With tears streaming down her face, she begged for Marsau's release, her voice cracking as she described the pain, the fear, and the uncertainty she was experiencing. Viewers were struck by her vulnerability. This wasn't a polished statement or a press release. This was raw, real emotion broadcast to the world. The livestream went viral almost instantly. Within minutes, hundreds of thousands had tuned in. Comments poured in faster than they could be read. Supporters rallied to her side, flooding her with words of encouragement, promises of help, and demands for justice. Influencers and public figures amplified her message, turning her emotional plea into a global talking point. But the live stream also sparked controversy. Some argued that it was brave, a necessary act of honesty that humanized the situation. Others questioned the wisdom of going public during an active investigation. Could such a display influence public opinion in ways that might affect the legal process? Could it even create risks for Marsau's defense? Regardless of the debate, one thing was clear: Leticia's tears gave the story a human dimension that no headline could capture. It turned a legal case into a personal crisis, one that millions felt emotionally invested in. Leticia's decision to go live reveals just how powerful social media has become in shaping public narratives. Experts in digital behavior point out that live broadcasts break down barriers between public figures and their audiences. They allow for unfiltered connection, creating a sense of intimacy and urgency that pre-recorded content can never match. In this case, Leticia's livestream was more than just an outpouring of grief. It was also a strategic move, whether intentional or not. By showing her vulnerability in real time, she rallied support, humanized Marsau's plight, and created public pressure that could not be ignored. Within hours, hashtags trended, campaigns formed, and discussions spread across platforms. Fans organized petitions, shared resources, and debated what justice should look like. The online community transformed from spectators into active participants, amplifying Leticia's voice far beyond what she could have achieved alone. But with that power came scrutiny. Critics accused her of exploiting emotion, of potentially jeopardizing legal strategies, or of dragging a deeply personal matter into the public arena. That tension between empathy and skepticism, between privacy and publicity, became another layer of drama in an already complex story. To truly understand what this arrest means, we need to consider the gravity of federal investigations. The FBI doesn't move in unless there's substantial evidence of serious wrongdoing. Whether the allegations involve financial irregularities, organized activity, or potential violations of national law, the fact that federal agents are involved signals that this is no ordinary case. Federal cases are built to withstand scrutiny. Every piece of evidence is gathered meticulously. Every step of the process is designed to hold up in court. And when suspects are taken into custody, it's often because investigators believe they have collected enough to make their case solid. For Marsau, this means the road ahead will not be simple. Even if the public rallies behind him, the legal process will be grueling, slow, and complex. Fans may see him as a victim of circumstance, but the presence of the FBI suggests that authorities are treating this case with utmost seriousness. Sympathy, while powerful online, may not influence what unfolds in court. As the dust begins to settle, the question on everyone's mind is what happens now? For Marsau, the future is uncertain. His reputation, his freedom, and his career all hang in the balance as the legal system takes its course. Every update, every court appearance, every new revelation will be scrutinized not only by the media, but also by millions of fans online. For Leticia, the live stream has made her a central figure in the story. Her vulnerability has earned her sympathy and support, but it has also put her in the spotlight she may not have anticipated. She must navigate the difficult balance between being a partner in crisis and a public figure, managing millions of eyes on her every move. And for the public, this story is far from over. The arrest was only the beginning. As details continue to emerge, as legal proceedings move forward, and as Leticia and Marsau supporters remain vocal, the drama will only deepen. What started as a shocking arrest has evolved into a saga of heartbreak, strategy, and the immense power of digital communities. This is more than a headline. It's a story of success and struggle, of law and emotion, of public spectacle and private pain. The FBI's involvement ensures that this is not a fleeting scandal, but a serious legal battle with real consequences. Yet Leticia's tears remind us that behind every story like this are human beings grappling with fear, loss, and uncertainty. So we ask you, what do you think? Was Leticia's live stream a desperate act of love, or a calculated move to sway public opinion? Should Marsau be seen as a victim of circumstance, or is the FBI's involvement proof that the situation is much more serious than fans realize? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.